One of the coolest fucking things that I saw while I was out there on the road, which there wasn't much because after I lost a day of travel, I just was doing fucking, I think I did 13 hours. I think 13 hours to get from where I was to get to Salt Lake City, and I got there at like 1 a.m. or some shit. And then in the morning, I kind of took my time and went and got some food and like drove around Wyoming to see what all the not Wyoming, to Salt Lake City, to be like, to see like, it's amazing what Mormons can build. Like, you put your mind to it, you have a big enough cult, you can do amazing things, because Salt Lake City is a pretty beautiful place. Was like shocked at what it looked like, because I never looked at pictures of Salt Lake City. You just see the mountains and shit, but I was like, this is actually a really well put together place. Drove past the fucking the building of John Smith or whatever, and I was like, this is fucking cool. It's a city, obviously, and I'm not like a city person, so I wasn't like too into the city. But as far as the accomplishment of making that place, and I don't know if it was made by Mormons, but it sure is like the fucking, what you think about Salt Lake City is fucking run by the Mormon mafia, and it's a cult in its own right. So because I'm into cults shit, it's like, oh, this is fucking cool. But anyway, continuing on my journey and going across the country, one of the coolest things I saw was, and I'm not into weather or anything like that, but once I got to Oklahoma, and it was like I was just getting into Oklahoma. It was weird. Like, I'll go back to when I got into Colorado. It was weird. It's like, as soon, I know, like, the scenery and the terrain looked a certain way, and then as soon as I got to fucking Colorado, it was like the state line. It was like the sign. It was like, welcome to Colorado. It was like the terrain and everything changed. And maybe you know what I'm talking about. If you've driven in from the north and you've gotten across the state line from, what the fuck is north of there? I don't know. It's fucking north. I'm not thinking clearly right now. But crossing the state line into Colorado, it was like a dramatic, like somebody painted this shit. Like, this is the state of Colorado. It's going to look a certain way. And that's kind of what happened. The road changed. The fucking mountains changed into something else. There was different vegetation and whatnot. But yeah, going into Oklahoma, and I just got into Oklahoma on my last leg, and I had 6 hours. My last stop was a 15-hour drive, 15-plus hour drive to get to Oklahoma. And then it in the hotel that I was staying at was 6 hours away from the house that I'm in. And so I finally got to the hotel, but along the way it was dark as fuck out, like no moon, no illumination, and I'm driving on this highway, and you can't see it because everything's so black minus the headlights. But there's windmills, like giant fucking windmills that are lining like this flat ass field, like, and I mean like hundreds of them, and you can't see it. But every so often, this ridiculous fucking lightning bolt would shoot down like all over the place, like not just one, but like, brrr, and it would light up the fucking fields behind the windmills. And it was like, it sounds lame as fuck now that I'm saying it, but it, like, at the time it was like you couldn't see like the color of the windmills, but they were turning, obviously. Like, Oklahoma's a pretty windy place, and you would see like these black silhouettes of hundreds of fucking windmills. Some were like right by the road, and it was just like ominous, like black, but it was like the coolest fucking thing that I didn't expect, you know, like when you see like something that you don't expect to happen, it's like, you know, it's like you're in awe of it. It's like, wow, these things are fucking massive. And honestly, like, I'm saying it, but it's like not really cool. Like, it's a windmill, but at that given time with the fucking lighting and the lightning and stuff like that, it was just like, whoa, that's super dope. Like, and I just remember that was like, again, sounds lame, but it was like one of the most memorable fucking things that I saw along the way, because I was literally just trekking across the country as fast as I can to get to Arkansas from Washington in 4 days or 3 days. It's easy. If you do 8 hours a day, I think it's a little bit more doable. But for me, a person that just wants to get where I'm going, like, I couldn't do that. And especially with losing a day, I could have taken extra time. I had a whole week to get here, but I decided to do it in 4 days originally. And then after, and essentially I was only a couple hours away from my house in Washington. But because I lost that day, I was like, you're fucking going across. There was a time where I was like, I'm going to drive 24 hours. Like, that's so fucking dumb. But I thought that. I was like, I'm going to drive 24 hours, get across this fucking, I'm going to get to fucking Arkansas. I'm going to get there. And obviously, like, you get so tired, but I think there would have been cooler stuff than fucking windmills. Like, you gotta look at it like this. The windmills were completely black spinning, and the only thing that showed them is the fucking lightning bolts. It was dope as fuck. Like, but if I had more time or I wasn't stopped with a fucking flat tire at one point, I may have looked at more stuff, but I remember Salt Lake City and fucking windmills. And here I am. I finally got here.